Hello, everyone, and welcome to Westcast episode 14. I'm joined with Jonsp2000,
Hello.
and today we have a special guest. We have nakinyko on the show. How's it going, man?
Hello, it's doing pretty well. Hi, everyone.
Great. So, what are you having for
Hey.
breakfast tomorrow?
Um, I probably won't eat breakfast. I rarely do that.
You just
That's
straight up
sweet.
skip breakfast and go straight to lunch, or?
Yeah,
Uh,
wake up at 10 and then, it's too late for breakfast. So,
that's the life. Waking up at 10 a.m. Oh, so you must go to bed like
well,
late then.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, if it's a work day, you have to go to bed earlier.
All right.
But,
Oh,
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about like the origin story here. So I know we talked about this in DMs, but I
yeah.
think this is like a little known fact. Where did the name nakinyko come from?
So, nakinyko, it came from, so the word naki, it's like an in-joke between my brother and I. Like, it came from the word nasty. And we'd use it. I think when we were kids, we'd use the word nasty. Like when we thought something was cool, and eventually it morphed into the word naki. And then naki turns out to also be the name of naki and Naiko are like names of video game companies that make like controllers and stuff. So when I signed up for a video game forum website, I needed a gaming related name. It's like I thought, oh, wouldn't it be funny if instead of like naming myself after a video game character, how about those companies that make controllers? It's kind of dumb, right?
So your name is
Like-
literally a mashup then.
I guess so. Yeah.
Oh
I
my
think
gosh.
Naiko's still around. They still make like accessories. I think Naki is not anymore.
I'm just kind of curious how like nasty turned into naki like that. That's.
I forgot. We were super young back then.
Oh yeah, because your account is like almost like a decade old now, eh? Like
I
you've
think
held on to
it's
this.
yeah, 2008. Yeah, 10 years old.
Oh yeah, we got to do something to celebrate the decade. You know?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know what to. I can't think of any idea to celebrate it yet, but yeah.
Well, okay, we'll celebrate it on this episode of Westcast then.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice.
Yeah. So, another thing about your origin, I see like your icon is the Hidamari sketch character. That's Yuno, is
Mhm.
right?
That's yeah.
Yeah.
That's it's a doodle. Like I found this is just me like searching. I think at the time like when the Hidamari sketch mashup became I guess popular, just randomly searching the words "you know what it is" on Twitter,
Mhm.
and then I found this doodle. Some guy did like that doodle, the "you know what it is."
Oh, so you
I
didn't
found
actually
that
draw
on
that?
Twitter.
You
I
didn't
didn't
draw
draw
that?
that. I found and then I traced over it in Photoshop,
Oh, okay. Because
and then
yeah, sorry, go on.
I didn't draw. And then someone, I think the guy who drew that thing, like he drew it. No, he commented on the Chunibyo Kendrick Lamar mashup.
Yeah.
He said like, he left a comment saying, "Oh, that's crazy. I drew that doodle on my computer lab window, and you're using it as an icon." Like,
That's so
That's
cool.
great.
Because
weird.
on your Facebook, which your public Facebook, you have the same drawing on this glass. I think you use like a marker and it's like on glass. Or was that
Yep.
you, or is that someone else's drawing?
Yeah, no, it's the guy. That's the picture I found on Twitter.
Oh, so it came from the drawing on the glass, and
Yeah,
then
then
you
I
traced
traced.
over it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so that's cool. That like I never knew it because all this time I thought that you just came up with it. I'm like, this guy's a quirky guy.
No, I wish I yeah.
Like it's like so symbolic now. Like I don't think like you could like change it easily without everyone like noticing it.
At least like before that icon I had like something else. And well just yeah, I think I changed that icon around 2013. I
Huh.
thought, oh, maybe like it would make sense if my channel icon was like an anime character because at that point it wasn't.
Right. So what was it
Mhm.
before then?
Oh, it was a picture of the Banawe rice terraces, like it's like a rice field in the Philippines or something.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
That's neat.
that's weird. Hmm.
So when it comes to like the whole world of mashups, because you started in a time where girl talk was really prevalent,
Hmm.
and anime mashups wasn't really like a thing. So I was wondering, do you have like a musical background? Like, what got you into mixing music in the first place?
I guess it started when mm, yeah, when I discovered those mashup artists like Girl Talk and the Avalanches.
Avalanches
Um,
does mashups.
well, yeah, if have you listened to any of their mixes or albums?
I've listened to like a few stuff, but I don't remember. This was a while back, so I don't
Mm.
have any recollection of that.
I
Well,
actually have.
you have. They've maybe you should try listening to they have a mixtape called Gimmicks.
Gimmicks, okay.
Yeah, came out in like 2000, I think, and it was like one of the first mashup things that I've ever heard, and I was super inspired by it. I guess at the time I was in like high school in 2007 or 8,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess it's because, well, so I was a nerdy kid, so I had nerdy friends, and I noticed, yeah, and I noticed that like I didn't like none of my nerdy friends liked hip hop very much. I loved it. Like my brother and I loved hip hop and like R&B and funk and that kind of music.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, well, like just to see their reactions when I started making these mashups. It's like I don't know, because in high school I didn't really like none of my friends shared the same taste in music as I did. Like they were more into rock and stuff.
All right.
So we'd always like argue about music. And then at some point when I discovered, Avalanches and Drill Talk and these mashup DJs and how like they're not fighting over music, they're mixing it all together. That was really I don't know, found that inspiring.
Yeah,
So
that's really cool. It's kind of interesting that the oldest upload on your channel is a Lucky Star mashup, and it had
mhm.
more of like a different tone or feel than your other works.
Yeah. Yeah. The funny thing is, I think the first anime mashup I've ever heard was it was a Lucky Star mashup, and around 2008. It was a mashup of that Lucky Star song, and it was mixed with. Have you heard of the Cheetah Men, like the Action 2 NES game?
Oh, the Cheetah Man theme?
Yeah, the Cheetah Men theme.
I know of the
I
game,
think
but I
was
don't know
my
the
version.
theme.
I know.
There was a mashup. I've heard that one. It's that was that the song mashed up with Lucky Star. That was the first anime mashup I've heard.
That's fascinating. So, because I thought that like you were like the pioneer of that. Like I didn't know that there was like people mixing anime soundtracks before you. So that's news to me. That's cool.
So, yeah, well, there are a few, but not as many as there is now.
Oh yeah, there's a lot now.
Yeah.
So within the 9 years of you, well, actually, you might have been mixing music even longer than that. Like, how long have you been mixing music for?
I started in like 2007. Yeah, around that time.
Okay. So
Late.
within the past decade, then, like, what have you learned about mashups, or like, how have you improved, or how has this kind of translated into your newer works?
I guess like it's mostly the same, but and my newer stuff, like I'm a lot more comfortable like pitch shifting melodies
Hmm.
like nowadays than before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
I would say like that's my biggest like difference.
I see.
Mashup wise.
Sorry about that. Yeah, that's cool because you do a lot of pitch shifting, and I think that a lot of people don't know how complex your mashups are until they actually try to recreate it. Because like something, it's real, yo. Like that's pitch shifted like crazy. Hajimete bounce. That's that man.
There's
So,
a couple. For the It's Real one, that took me a while to get. Like there was definitely a time that I didn't pitch shift it, and I kept listening to it and wondering why it sounded weird.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting because like if by the way, how do you experiment with the music? Do you experiment at all, or is it like a big idea going straight to the project file?
I think it's always experimentation. Maybe sometimes like I have an idea, like I really want to mix this song, and then it turns out well. But I think maybe like 80% of the time it's just experimentation.
Hmm. That's really interesting. So it's very like combination driven then.
Yep.
Okay.
Lots of trial and error.
Oh yeah. So what software do you use for that?
Nowadays, yeah, Ableton Live, Ableton Suite, and then for
Ableton.
pitch shifting, Melodyne.
Okay.
But I rarely use it.
I see. But sorry about the phone in the background. My bad.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I actually have a question for you.
Yep.
Are there any mashups that you felt like could have been improved upon, or you would like to add something but you couldn't do it because you either lacked the skills to do so, or you just didn't thought of it at the
Well, there are definitely times when I uploaded something and I just like took it down and then redid it. Like I did a K-On mashup before, the Dr. Dre one.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
And I think like I put too much stuff in there and it sounded bad to me, so just took it down. And then when I re-uploaded it at some point, I improved it.
Oh.
I see. So why isn't that one on your channel? It seems to be like on someone other person's channel, but you put it in a playlist on your channel. Like, what was the story behind that?
I think it got like flagged at some point. So instead of me re-uploading it, I just found someone else.
Okay.
Someone else's upload, and then just link that to the front page, the my channel.
That's good. Yeah, because you have like I think it's 4 K-On mashups, right? 4 in that one. Anyways,
like 4 or 5, I think. Yeah.
yeah. I was always curious about that, like if it was a copyright issue or what happened with that. So
Copyright.
when you said you put too much stuff, did it just sound too busy or what was up with that?
Yeah, lots of like I put too many drum loops in the background and it sounded messy. So and then someone pointed it out in the comments.
Oh yeah. So sometimes it's that one comment that's actually like having a critical ear that kind of just like changes your thoughts on a mashup kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So you have about I think like over 50 uploads now, and I'm wondering what's the biggest accomplishment on your channel, or like personal accomplishment, whether it's views or whether it's like your best work. What's your biggest accomplishment?
I think it's when it's the Adele one, Rolling in the Nexus.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who produced the Nexus, KZ, he commented.
Wow.
He liked that. He said, "Oh, amazing," and then I said, "Oh, thank you." And then he put the video in his favorites.
Oh my
Maybe
goodness.
yeah. Most proud of that moment. And then there was also another time someone tweeted "It's real yo" to real estate on their Twitter.
Oh yeah.
And then they heard it and then said it was catchy. So that's another. Those two are my biggest accomplishments, I think.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
that's incredible, having the original artists fully acknowledge like the mashup, like that's
That felt weird. It's like I think these people probably think I'm ruining their song.
it's good to get their perspective on it though.
But no,
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to
that's
sorry, go on. Yeah, John.
oh no, I was gonna say like you should be proud of that. If they like it, then that means you did a really good job on that mashup.
Thanks. Yeah, I guess I should, right?
Yeah. I want to build off of Rolling in the Nexus because like no one knows that you actually have like turntables and you actually do like scratching and stuff like that. So I was wondering because I saw you like recreating like the vocal chopping and screwing. Well, actually no, I think it was just vocal chopping. with Adele's voice with the turntable, and I was wondering if in the final mashup, if that was like turntable, or like how has the turntable kind of made its way into your works, if at all.
Yeah, so the turntable thing, I just when I made the mashup itself, I didn't use any turntables or anything. I didn't have any gear at that point. It's all like chops in Ableton. So yeah, but I guess when I first got my turntable, I definitely thought, oh, I should probably put more scratching in my mashups, but I don't think I'm at that level yet, where it'd be like good enough to actually scratch on one track. Maybe in the future.
Yeah, like that'd be really fresh, and that'd be quite different from what's been going around nowadays. Like that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, but like chopping is it's pretty advanced. Having like the dexterity and the muscle memory to do like a helicopter effect, or even stuff like that. Like,
yeah, in my free time sometimes I watch a lot of turntable like DJ scratch DJs, and they're super good. Yeah.
it's incredible how fast they can go, and like how they can.
And then
execute it.
when they do the crab scratch, it's like the what is it, the fader. You use all four fingers to like quickly like snap the fader to the center. It's super hard
Oh
to
yeah,
do.
yeah. I've seen stuff like that. Like that's impressive. Like anyone who can do that, like respect. But yeah, that'd be cool if if
Skill.
you integrated like live mixing or like scratching into your like uploads. Like that'd be really refreshing.
Yeah, maybe in the future if I find like a good spot for a scratching part or something.
Yeah, totally go for it. So this brings me to my like next like kind of topic. So what makes something upload worthy? Like, because you have a lot of mashups out there that seem to get lost in the web. Like you have like your Servant Tech Service mashup that has never seen the light of day on your channel, or you have like Summer Sakura that hasn't been uploaded. And I was wondering like what makes something like make you say yes, I want to upload this to the channel.
Well, the servant service one, I actually tried to upload that, but yeah, copyright. YouTube wouldn't let me.
Shit.
Yeah, but to answer your question, I guess the most important thing is, I guess, to sound good. Like I should enjoy it as a song, like whether or not, like if it's a mashup or not. I have to enjoy it as like a piece of music.
Right.
That's basically my only rule for deeming something upload worthy. And I guess the second thing is if like the combination's unique, or if it's a concept is like weird or interesting, then that's a plus. But for the most part, I have to enjoy it as a song.
It's interesting, very interesting. And speaking of enjoying mashups as music, I see that you've had several instrumental mashups in the past, like Zenbu Infinity, stuff like that. So, your recent one, that one. Yeah. So I was wondering, like, what's the process when it comes to making instrumental mashups? Because we don't see that often in this community.
I guess the instrumental mashups are kind of my like attempts at making like avalanche style songs. I've always loved those, like those tracks that put like, maybe 6 or more samples.
Oh yeah.
But like keep everything melodic and stuff like that. So I think for those songs, I just really like. Oh, for Hau especially, I just really like that loop. But in the original song, it lasts for like 20 seconds or like 10 seconds. So I when I made that track, it started. I just wanted to hear that loop over and over again.
Right.
So yeah, those instrumental mashups kind of build off from those types of things.
So that brings me to my next kind of question is how did the collab with Joseph on Deck come to be?
Joseph, he, yeah, I think this was in 2014, around that time. He just randomly tweeted me, like he said, "Oh, do you, let's do a song together." And I was like, "Okay." And then I had that instrumental at that point, but I was like trying to do something. Like I couldn't find something to do with it. Like I really liked the sound, but there was something was missing. So I thought, oh, maybe I should give it to him. And then he said, "Oh, great." And then like 2 weeks later, he recorded his rap over it. So it's all like Twitter. It's a Twitter collab.
That's so cool.
Like
So
random.
so it wasn't like there wasn't like that much of like a feedback process and that pitching ideas back and forth. He just took the instrumental and ran with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, I just gave him the instrumental track, and then just next thing I knew, he uploaded it with his vocals on it.
So was the Monogatari chorus like after or before he threw his vocals on it?
That was when, oh, because I made the instrumental around like a year before, and then when he said, "Oh, can you give," like when he asked for a track, I listened to that instrumental again, and I thought, like just before sending it to him, I put that the Zenbu vocals
Mm-hmm.
on it. So when he got the file, it was already there.
Well, that's cool. Because like it adds like a nice like chorus to it. It kind of like adds like a good structure to it. So yeah, I was wondering like what's like to collab with a vocalist on that kind of stuff. So
Well, yeah, the hip hop songs with hooks are my favorite kind.
oh yeah, especially if it's in like a nice contrast like with the female Japanese vocals.
Yeah,
It-
and
it's just so much
if
more
it's
interesting.
melodic, like if it's singing.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, like it's good. Having the key sensitive like a key sensitive hook. I think that's what like nowadays rap. I think that's what um kind of like grounds it. Kind of like adds something that
Yeah,
people can sing
yeah.
along to. So
Yeah. That's like, yeah. For listeners to sing along, right?
yeah. So how like have you been keeping track of the world of mashups nowadays?
A little bit, but not as often as I used to.
Because there are so many like new mashup artists that came in from like Triple Q or Siva Gunner, like those like
Yeah,
those guys. So
they're
I was
super.
wondering, how do
Yeah,
you
yeah,
like
yeah.
what are your thoughts on mashups nowadays, or like the people involved in it?
They're great. I think mashups today, like a lot of it's a lot of it's like jokier than some of my stuff,
Hmm.
but a lot of it's great. It's just it's hard to keep track of all of those, but like for me personally, but I sometimes when I listen to Triple Q or Silva Gunner, they're super, I love their mashups.
Hmm. Um, it's kind of cool that you bring up Triple Q because like you like when you were building your channel, I think about maybe 2 or 3 years in, that's when I think Triple Q and people like Gardakuno and Sorty and Botanic Sage kind of came in, and it's interesting seeing their conversations because a lot of them were inspired by you. Um,
Really?
yeah, like Botanic, like in one of the discords, he said like he's directly inspired by your works. So
Oh, thanks.
yeah,
I think we actually started around the same time, right?
really.
Or was it? I think it was Triple Q. Like I remember when I first started uploading mashups, I already found out about his stuff.
Huh.
So I was kind of under the impression that we started at kind of the same time.
Well, I didn't know that. I thought he always started later, but okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Or like
So,
2010 around the time.
hmm I think that in that time, mashups, it was a lot easier for, actually, no, I shouldn't say easier, but I found that certain mashups would go viral. So, like, your poolside identity, um, your Hidamari sketch mashup, like, those ones, like, blew up. So, how do you kind of respond to that popularity or that surge of viewership?
Yeah, it was definitely a weird experience. Like it was great. It was definitely, it felt good. Like it felt like, um, I guess eh, mm, yeah, kind of weird, but fun. Like I loved seeing people's reactions on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Of
So, like, oh,
yeah,
you mixed Japanese voice on this Kendrick instrumental kind of thing.
at that point, like uh, it wasn't like as like how do you say this? Like it wasn't as common at the time, right?
Mhm.
The hip hop anime mashups. Maybe that's why people it found an audience.
Yeah, I think that there's been like a huge kind of, well, this response for like hip hop and pop anime mashups have they've kind of taken off. Like there was one that the M Dion did. It's called When the Runes Sparkle in September. It's with
Ooh,
Macross
yeah, I heard that
Delta.
one.
Oh yeah, you heard that one?
Delta. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that mix.
Sometimes it's just like it's like a perfect fit, you know. Um, and like Senpai Gonna Love It from Triple Q, like those ones.
Yeah,
I think it's just the whole like juxtaposition between
yeah.
the quirkiness versus the more down to earth instrumental. I think that's cool.
And I think it's because at the time, you know, I rarely ever came across any like anime fans who liked hip hop back then. Maybe that's why
Hmm.
it, it became popular. You know, it's like it's that contrast, like you said.
Yeah, it was something like really fresh that not a lot of people were doing at that time, I guess.
Mm.
So when it comes to the sources you mix with, um, have you always mixed shows that you've watched, or have you mixed sources that you have no connection to the source at all?
Um, Actually, yeah, I guess there are a lot of mixes that like I haven't seen the show at the time when I first made it. So it doesn't really matter whether or not I saw the show. But I guess if I like the song.
So the source material doesn't like fully dictate uh, your song
No.
selection then, eh?
Like that's why I remember when Black and Yellow, when I made Black and Yellow mix the Hidamari sketch one. Actually I hadn't seen Hidamari sketch at the time.
Really?
So yeah, it's like and then when people started commenting, you know what it is. It's again I realized, oh right, because the main character's name is Yuno.
I like
And I
how
just
that kind of became your channel description after a while. Like before, it was like anime mashups. Thanks for listening, and then now it's just straight up. You know what it is. Speaking of your,
Um,
sorry, go on, John.
kind of a follow-up question to that.
Mhm.
Was there ever any sources that you wanted to make a match out of with, like you just couldn't find the right combination?
um I guess there was some. I can't remember any at the top of my head, but there are definitely times when I heard the song and I thought, oh, would it be cool to mash this up? But I couldn't find. Yeah, some songs are like maybe those like songs in 3/4 or songs that are have like weirder chord structures. Those are difficult to mash up, I think.
Didn't you make a
Mm.
3/4 into a 4/4 one time?
Yeah, the new one, the oh no, it's wait, have I done? No, the one I just uploaded this month is it's like from 4/4 to 3/4.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh damn! I didn't
Oh,
even book that. Holy crap!
I've always wanted to like do that, like like butchering a song from 4/4 to 3/4.
That's like next level. That's
And
super cool. So, do you have like any background in music to be able to do that, or is that just a product of listening to a bunch of other people's stuff?
Yeah, no, I don't really have a background in music. It's more of just, using, um, it's like when you listen to a song and when you know something's out of tune, it's just that sense, I think.
Mm.
I feel yeah.
It's no like professional training or anything like that.
It's just listening to a lot of music. Eh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, you seem like a guy that listens to a lot of music. Like you have a Who Sampled account. Like just the fact that you have that, it's just
Oh,
like, oh man, this guy knows his stuff.
you've seen you go to Who Sampled
We do our research here. Yeah.
I guess it's because I love sample based music. So
It's really cool that that sampling kind of mentality made its way into your works. Like I think the ooh is just like a perfect example of like what you're going for the sampling and all that.
thanks. That's always been. Yeah, I guess that's like my goal nowadays is to make more tracks like that.
Hmm. Have you ever seen the documentary with Girl Talk? It's with it's about copyright. Have you ever seen that documentary?
I think I saw clips of it on YouTube, but I haven't seen the whole thing.
Yeah, cause
Was it?
Hmm?
Yeah. Sorry. Was it the one where it's like he's demonstrating how he makes the track?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that was in that
I think
documentary.
I saw that clip.
Yeah, because
Mm.
Girl Talk, he's really like sample heavy, so I can see like where where you're drawing inspiration from for that. But like, he I think talked about copyright in a way that was really interesting. He said like, oh, if you were to get the music license for every uh sample he used in his mashups, it would cost over like $1 million to produce the album, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which brings me to copyright and you. So how has
Mhm.
copyright like affected your channel? Like I know it broke down your SoundCloud, but how else has copyright affected you?
Yeah. Well, yeah, there were some mashups that I couldn't upload, like that serve and service one. But for the most part, I guess, yeah, the YouTube content ID thing, where it, like when you upload a song and when you upload a mashup and YouTube automatically detects the what's in it. I think
Hmm.
for the most part, it's been pretty like lenient towards my stuff.
Oh yeah, it keeps
Um,
you from monetizing, right? That's it.
yeah, but that's it. Like people can still hear it, which is it's the important thing. So
Right.
I don't mind at all that like YouTube's restrictions aren't like to the point where I can't do creative works or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with it.
Okay. Well, even if you as long as it's viewable, I think like that's the main goal. But in terms of like monetization, I'm just gonna plug your Patreon. Everyone, nakinyko has a Patreon, and there's a like every batch of mashups. That's when I can't really describe it.
Thanks. Thanks for plug. It's patreon.com/nakinyko, and it's like I don't, because uh, I don't want to like charge per individual mashup or anything like that. So whenever I release like maybe a batch or maybe an EP or an album or something, that's when I what's it
Yeah, I got you.
monetize. Right.
Yeah. I think even if it's not just the dollar value, I think it's a really good way to connect with your viewers, just so that they can like fully show their support that's beyond like a like or a share or a comment. So definitely, yeah.
Also, I have to, I should take this opportunity to thank all my patrons. Yeah, thanks for the support, and even just anyone who's ever listened to any of my mashups. Thank you.
Oh, well, we're
Oh, you're
very
welcome.
appreciative of the time the time and effort that you put into your stuff.
Thanks.
I'm kind of curious. At some point, you changed the X's in your video titles.
Mm-hmm.
Like originally it was
Oh,
the regular X, and now it's the fancy like centered X. So I was wondering like what was the kind of what was the thought process behind that?
Oh, oh, I think it was like at some point like Triple Q used that X, like the symbol, and I guess to differentiate it from like the normal X, I started using that one.
Huh.
Yeah, it's what is it? The cross symbol.
Yeah, it's like the sideways cross.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I know about this is because I knew you used the regular X's, so I used that X for my uploads. And then I go back to your channel, I was like, oh wait, we're using the same X's now.
Okay.
So
I used to be like my old videos. It used to be just VS versus dot,
Mhm.
and I didn't even put like the title of the mashup. I just put like all caps mashup, Hidamari sketch versus Wiz Khalifa. Yeah, like back then.
I think it's nice to have the title as a like the title is a mashup of the sources. I think it adds
Yeah.
flair and just gives something like people. It's like, oh, do you know it's real yo, or do you know crap, or like, oh, do you know Tomodoy Mischief? It's like, oh yeah, I know. It's like it gives it like an identity of its own.
Sometimes it's like when the two source titles don't have like if you can't make the title that makes sense. Sometimes I'd rather just put both titles and separate them with a slash or something.
I feel you.
Yeah.
So I'm looking through your uploads right now, and what would you say is like your favorite and your most like difficult, like the one that was most difficult to execute?
My favorite. You know what? My favorite might actually be like I uploaded the T-Pain one from 2009.
Oh, the Boku no Freeze, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my.
Still one of my favorites, and yeah, whenever I hear that song, kind of, yeah, very nostalgic for that song. Makes me happy.
That was well above before its time, eh? Like that was like almost a decade ago, and like, the fact that you like swap between, the vocals and the instrumentals, and then you even have the what is it, like the beatboxing part in some
Yeah,
parts,
the
like
beatbox.
it's a pretty straightforward mashup, but it just sounds so good. Like I have that mashup on my car CD, so I play that when I'm driving and stuff.
Awesome. It's still one of my favorites. Like it's simple, but and makes me happy. And then I guess for difficult, like hard to make.
Yeah.
It might actually be the real estate one. It's Realio. That took a long time to get right.
Right, because
So
you
many
looped
weird
the
edits.
crap out of that instrumental. Like
Yeah.
that's impressive looping.
Thanks. And then like the vocal itself, it's like I had to like for some sections it was in a different key, so I had to match those.
And that's all Melodyne, eh?
I did the pitch shifting in Ableton, and then the bits that were like in like the incorrect harmonies were just corrected in Melodyne, I think.
Huh, I see. So, I have a question about Broccoli Delivery Service. Like, what was the kind of thought process that led toward creating that mashup? Because it was so different from all your other stuff, like recent stuff.
Oh, yes, I think this was last year, right?
Yeah.
I think at the time, I hadn't done like a hip hop mix in a while, so I've always thought of that as kind of my return to mixing like a hip hop artist. It's like Dram, he's like one of the new hip hop artists. So I've always thought, oh, and I love that Kiki's delivery service. So I've always wanted to do a mix of that.
It's so catchy.
So
Even
It's,
without
it's
an
great.
acapella, it's still like it sounds really good with it.
the annoying thing is I found an instrumental of that Kiki song on YouTube, but it's low quality, so I couldn't use it.
Yeah, you
So
wouldn't be able to use it. I tried to extract an acapella. It's not possible with that.
it's kind of difficult. So I had to like say rebuild, but kind of take the bits from the original song that were instrumental, and then kind of like rebuild the verse part with it, or something like that.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Kind of difficult to edit as well.
So at the transition point, like you go from the Rogue no Dengon instrumental
Mhm.
to the Broccoli instrumental. I'm wondering, was that Broccoli instrumental a recreation of you? Because I noticed that you pitch shifted the sub bass to make it like the Kiki delivery service.
Yeah. I pitch shifted the what is it? Originally, for that part, I used the instrumental from Broccoli, but I think I listened to it, and the piano was like a bit off key. So I decided, because it's a simple loop, so I thought maybe I should just recreate it. So I just got a bunch of 808 drum samples.
And that's how you did it, eh?
It's like, yeah, it's like it's not using the original Broccoli instrumental anymore, just sub bass.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
this brings us to like another question. Do you have any future plans or projects for your channel?
Right now, not really. Like, I don't have any new like mashups lined up for uploading or anything like that. But I've always, like, in the future, and can't really. I don't know if I ever actually finish it, but I've always wanted to do like a girl talk style album, like a
Ooh.
50-minute. That's always been kind of my goal as a mashup DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Which I've always thought about this since it's like 9 years ago, but I never actually finished it. But I've always wanted to do like a long album, so maybe that at some point in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That'd be really exciting. Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the internet would lose
Yeah.
their shit seeing like an upload that long from you.
Or maybe I should like chop it up into different videos.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
I actually have a similar question. Well, actually,
Yeah.
not similar, but kind of. But do you see yourself continuing to make mashups in the future?
Um. Maybe, yeah. I still like listening to mashups, and I still like making them. So, like, I can't really say any concrete plans in the future, but I probably still do it in my free time or something.
Right.
Cool.
Uh,
Yeah.
Another question. Did you have trouble getting Summer Sakura up on YouTube, or was that never attempted to get on YouTube?
No, I never uploaded it. Like, it's, like, too lazy to make a picture for that one. Like when I uploaded the what is it, the other mashups compilation, I thought, because I like that mix, but I didn't think, oh, I should upload this on YouTube. So I just thought, oh, maybe I should just put this on like the compilation album. But yeah,
Yeah, because
no, I didn't think. Yep.
yeah, it's because Summer Sakura is like one of my favorites. Like, just from like hearing it recently, that pitch shift right before the chorus, that was like that was so friggin' smart.
Thanks. I like that mix too. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I should upload it on YouTube.
I think it's definitely upload worthy. If you ever need a thumbnail, hit me up. Like, I'll put together a thumbnail for you. But like, man, that's
Sure.
yeah, it's such a. I don't know, for some reason that one really stood out, and I don't know why.
Thanks. Yeah. Have you heard the original song, the Wild Nothing?
Yeah, you looped that really cleverly.
It reminds me of It's Real, I think, in a way. Just the like it's one of those like trippy indie rock songs I
Mhm.
really like. Yeah.
And I find that a common like theme among those like indie rock songs is like a good chunk of reverb on the vocals, and I noticed that
Yeah.
you like to have like that wet reverb thing going on. It's kind of like that aesthetic.
Yeah, it's my favorite. Yeah, I like I like rock songs with reverb.
Yeah, because you do a lot of like really cool techniques that I don't think a lot of people like fully appreciate or understand. Like the way you loop instrumentals, like how you pan vocals and stuff like that. And you know, you do a lot of chopping and screwing. Like I went back and listened to a lot of your stuff. It's like this guy's been chopping and screwing for quite a while now, like vocal chopping and screwing. So
Thanks.
that kind of brings me to my.
Yeah, it's
Oh, sorry, you go.
I don't know. It's like yeah, it's I guess it's part of the fun, right? Is to take favorite songs and just it's like rearrange them and things like that.
Yeah, like a heavy-handed approach to it.
Yeah, lots of chops.
Yeah. So with those techniques, I'm wondering, what's your advice to new people getting into mashups, or even people, just mashup people in general? Like, what's your kind of advice to bring their works to like the next level?
I think actually I think the most important thing is to have fun. It's cheesy, but it's like yeah, you should. For me, like the most important thing is if you like mix music that you like. That's like the number one rule.
Mhm.
Is yeah, pick songs that you like because that's you know that's what you're that's what you have a connection to, and I guess it makes it easier for a person to do mixes, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So, when it comes to people transforming music, well, what are your thoughts of people that take your mashups and use them in creative ways? Like, are there any notable examples that really stand out?
Oh, there were definitely. I think. What is it? There are some people who. I think there's this one guy who took. I uploaded my I did a Gravity Rush mashup back then, and then I uploaded the instrumental, and there were like some guy who rapped over it, so that was cool.
Mm.
And then there are some people who, you know, use my mashups for like a podcast intro or one of their gameplay videos, stuff like that. That's always fun to see.
Oh yeah. It's like the way I see it is like that's the like the highest form of appreciation. It was when someone uses your own work for their work.
Yeah, it's very it's flattering. It's always nice to see.
Yeah.
Mm.
I want to talk about your mashup Portal how I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Portal Low Market.
Portal, I think yeah. The Gravity Rush one.
Yeah, the Gravity Rush one. What was your kind of thought process when you interjected Kimono Friends in there?
Um, I think I guess yeah. I was listening to that Kimono Friend song, and I really like that. Yeah, Hajime Mashite, that singing part. Like, what is it? Like a break in the song, like pre-chorus or something.
I think that's what's called, or it's an interlude. I can't remember what the musical term for it.
Yeah. But I really like that melody, and I thought, oh, maybe I should put this somewhere. And yeah, I guess that Gravity Rush beat I made was kind of a perfect fit for that thing.
Hmm.
Oh.
Even the vocals, like even your choice of vocals, like "Life's a Bitch" and then you die. That's why we got high. Then you never know when you're gonna, and then you do the Kimono Friends mashup,
Yeah.
the goal. Like, did that come from experimentation or did that come from like a bigger idea?
Yeah, mostly experimentation. But you know, when I made that "Life's a Bitch" beat, I don't know. I thought it would be cool if, because you know the Nas song has a very, it's kind of a dark lyric, isn't it? So I thought, oh, wouldn't it be nice if I put, you know, like a cheerful vocal after this one. I guess just me playing around, like experimenting, enabled that.
It's like that nice unique contrast thing, you know.
Yeah, it's I like the way that follows that dark lyric.
Yeah. So I want to go back to some of your older uploads now. So for the Key of C, like when it comes to determining the key of a song, is it just a lot of like playing with the songs and seeing which ones jive together, or do you like, or do you map it out on a piano to tell the key? Like, what's up with that?
Oh, for the KFC, I think. No, I had. Do you use Mixed in Key, that program that tells you what key a song is in?
Mixed in key?
Yeah, it's. I don't know if you can still download it now, but I used to use this program called Mixed in Key. Like it tells you what key a song is in.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess yeah. So when I made the key of C, it's just I didn't actually like map it out on a piano or anything. I just put phrase in there in the Bokura no Aikotoba.
Oh,
So
yeah.
and it said, oh, this is in the key of C. So but I guess when I'm making a mashup, I don't really how to say it. It's like I don't really need to use a piano or a guitar or anything like that. It's always by ear, just pitch shifting by ear. I think.
Mm-hmm. I've seen some photos on I can't remember where, but do you like DJ live at events and stuff?
Well, not very often. Like I played like my brother's wedding and stuff like that.
Oh, so
But,
that's
not
where the picture came
professionally.
from. Okay,
Yeah, I think.
yeah, that's
But
cool.
not professionally or as a
As like a professional DJ kind of thing. Eh?
no. Yeah, not like that.
Sometimes when I DJ, I play some of your stuff. I play Zenbu Infinity, the instrumental of that.
Thanks.
It's a good opener.
It's cool. Also, if you want you want the stems for it or
Oh, the stems. Ooh, the exclusive access.
let me know.
Yeah, like that'd be cool. Yeah, I'd be down to like listen to each individual portion because there's so much complexity with it that I just it's so rich. I just want to see what you did with it.
Thanks. All right, I'll email you a link or something.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, John, do you have any other questions or comments or?
Not really. Kind of like the questions I want to ask have already been answered.
Yeah. So I guess that's this is a good point to end the podcast. Do you have any final remarks, Naki?
I guess again, I just wanted to say thanks to all the listeners and everyone out there who commented or shared any of my videos over the years. Thank you so much.
Yes. And thank you for being on the podcast. This was a great episode. Thank you.
It was fun. Thank you for having me.
Okay. It was fun.
Yeah, hopefully we can get you like on another episode sometime in the future. But
sure thing. Yeah.
And it's cool to finally give your perspective because all this time you've kind of been like this ominous this guy that just drops by every now and then, uploads, drops the bomb and then just like blows us all away. And it's interesting hearing your perspective on this stuff. So
Thanks. I guess kind of shy.
No. You're good. You're good. Okay. So yeah, thanks for joining us on this podcast, and we really appreciate your company and your perspective on things, and we hope to get you on a future episode sometime in the future.
Thanks.
All right. See you later, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye.